Well, thank you all for participating. You three. Thank you for being here. The topic is sexism in African American publishing. And we're going to speak to first from C.Evelyn Holland, then Al-Saadiq Banks, and then Amir, Garvin. Diane, would you like to say anything?
Just thank everybody for coming out. It's hot, so bear with us, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Hello, my name is C.Evelyn Holland. I am the novelist of the series entitled The Brothers of the Dark Hair. So my novels, I'm proud of them. And I'm prouder still to be here today and participate with these wonderful authors on this very interesting discussion. Let's start off with the definition of sexism. Sexism is prejudice, stereotyping, or discrimination against anyone based on gender. Today we're focusing on the females.
And the males too, because it could happen. And I guess to start the conversation, have any of you felt discriminated against because of your sex in regards to publishing? Your novel placement in a website, magazine, or anything like that?
Well, actually, I'm the newbie on the block here. I only have 2 books. But in my experience, I think it's all about perception versus fact. When you walk into a bookstore and you see that the larger part of the inventory consists of urban literature with covers that depict females in scantily clad outfits, blinged out from head to toe, and designers that don't really care about black people, with a big Bentley in the background or a thug on the side, you get the impression or the perception that there are no jewels on the pages between that cover. I felt it was necessary for me to do a little bit of research before I sat down with these gentlemen, because I wasn't sure, since I'm so new in the industry, whether there was sexism. I came to the conclusion that there isn't, and I'm going to explain myself as the discussion unfolds.
Okay. Cool. Al-Saadiq?
It's never happened to me. I've never even, like, when Kisha asked me a question about the whole sexism thing, like, I wasn't really understanding the question. But I can imagine how, with the readers being all female, quite naturally it's going to be kind of easier for the male to market himself to the female. So from that regard, I understand it from that regard, but as far as anything else like that, I don't really see it like that.
Okay, let me ask you something really quick. So, I don't know, when you're interacting with authors, are you interacting with male authors or female authors?
I don't really interact with a lot of people.
Okay.
So, that's why I say I really don't, it's not in my world,
right.
So I really don't understand it. But I mean, like I said, I can understand,
right.
From the perspective of with bigger readership being women, then maybe they won't buy a book from a woman faster than they will buy a book from a man. You know what I mean? Right. But it all depends on the storyline. If the storyline is male driven, then it's still a battle for her too.
Right.
So I mean, I really don't. It has been my experience. That's all.
Right. No, and I get that because with you, like you say, you're kind of like in a corner by yourself, and that's where you put your, and you're known for that, and that's a good thing. And that's why I was asking about, are you interacting with female authors, because I'm wondering if they're expressing it, like how you just expressed this.
We had a wonderful, short discussion, and he was like, oh yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Okay.
Because in my journey, just picture, written a book. Everybody desires to be that author that's picked up of one of the big publishing companies, the Kensingtons, the Random Houses, the St. Martin's Press. Okay. So you go to their website and they have a little pigeonhole that you were talking about earlier, a pigeonhole for the black authors.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And they may have a black editor who's in charge of that pigeonhole. But in the same token, she can't carry you until her boss says
That's right.
it's
She
okay.
has to answer to somebody.
And there's all types of restrictions, okay? Exactly.
And let's be honest, they're only going to let a certain amount through.
Only a certain amount are safe.
Right.
Too many of them,
Right.
they'll run amongst.
They feel like we're taking over.
Right.
You know, just briefly, I talked to a female author maybe about 2 weeks ago, and she said something to me. She said, when you go in Hudson News in the airports, you know, we all go because we're readers, right? And when you go, she said, look at how many black, you know, authors you see. I saw one. I took pictures of it because I never paid attention until she said it. But in one airport, and they have to be a New York Times bestseller before they're even considered
That's
to be.
an even different trial
You
because
understand what I'm
they're
saying?
discriminating against the Caucasian writers as
Right.
well. You
Right.
know, so if they're being discriminated against, you know we're even lower in the totem pole.
I was in St. Thomas and they had it was Terry McMillan. It was an older.
Well, it was Terry McMillan, and I think it was Newark. It might have been Newark, it might have been Charlotte, but she was down on the bottom shelf. So, yeah, she was down on the bottom shelf with her latest book, okay? And I took a picture of it because I was like, wow, I never paid attention until she said that. So when I got to Atlanta, it was Ashley and Jacravis. They were like in the middle, but they would have gotten lost amongst everything else there.
They don't promote us.
They don't.
They want us to fail before we get started.
Right.
And then say, well, listen, nobody was buying the books. We gave you a chance.
There you go.
But we don't get the promotion that our counterparts get. And I believe that there is sexism as far as it's concerned with mainstream publishing. The top 6. Those women, those white women are being discriminated against because of the pool of men versus women that are being promoted. The critics and the reviewers and the decision makers are all male. All male. But it's a different situation in black literature. I just did a little research on it and I found that not only are females running the show, the majority of the publishing houses for black literature are founded and run by black women. Because, believe it or not, we read more of everything, not just black books. We read more of everything than everybody. That's male, females, Hispanics, Chinese, Japanese. We run the book industry.
All genres.
All genres.
Yeah.
And if you take the statistics for the black college-educated women, they're at the top. We're readers. We're readers, but even though there are more writers, more African-American writers than ever before, our platform has been shrunken to just the black publishing companies or self-publishing. You know, we don't have that big publishing company that's going to support us, that's going to push us.
But I want Amir to get lost in. Have you experienced any of this?
Personally, no. I haven't experienced it. However, I see like topics being thrown out there on Facebook, you know, where female authors have been not discriminated wise, but being degraded.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Being degraded. I have seen an author, and after this author, I can't really remember her name, but she exposed somebody. She exposed her publisher for that. You know.
For being sexist towards her?
Sexist, yeah, he was trying to come at her, and she didn't accept it, and he tried to do other things, and there was a whole rift in it. So I haven't experienced it. However, but I've seen it and I heard about it. And then, like she said, majority of the females running the industry. You know, and one thing I have learned was it's harder for a male author than a female author. For what was told to me, they said a lot of publishers don't pick up male authors.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. And one thing that came across my table was I was told to write a romance novel.
Wow.
You know, they said that this publishing company was only accepting romance novels.
Right.
You know, and I write urban fiction. I write street literature.
Right.
You know, so maybe that's what it is. And he told me, he gave me some advice. He was just like, you know, listen, pay attention to the charts. If you want to make the charts, this is what you got to do. So what I did was I went to the Amazon charts, and there was one male author on the top 100 books, and maybe one street literature book on there out of 100, and the rest was romance novels.
So it kind of made you feel like, oh, so maybe if I wanted to be over here, I need to step outside of what I want to write and write romance. But you wouldn't have been true to yourself.
What it made me do is made me go harder and want to break the barrier.
There you go.
It makes me want to just say, okay, well, this is what you want. I'm going to push harder. I'm going to grind harder. And I'm going to make it known that this is what it's going to be. I'm not changing who I am to please the charts. That's not what I'm trying to do.
That's definitely a good attitude to have towards it. I want to dig a little deeper with going into the sexism where me, when I came into the industry 10 years ago as an author, but before that I was a reader. And I remember having conversations on AOL chat rooms, and the discussions were the male authors, how they could get female readers to take their books to work and sell them, like Tupperware. And these women, they would do it, and they were like, well, how do you get them to sell your books like that? Oh, I just talk to them, flirt with them, whatever, and they sell their books. And so now, being a female author myself, I say to my other female authors, well, we can't do that. Or, I'll take that back. Some can. Some choose not to. That's not something that I wish to do. That I have to through love in an inbox for you to sell my book or want to. And even if I do flirt with John Doe today, he's only going to buy one copy. He's not taking it to work, selling it to all of his friends and family. So that's sexism part of it. So why is it okay for the male to take advantage of the female, but then wait, devil's advocate saying, is he taking advantage of her?
No, it's not. They're doing it because they want to.
There you go.
And let me just say something. The difference is, well, not the difference, but a male will buy, let's say, one copy. A female, we like to give books for, because if he's flirting with you the right way, you're going to buy several copies.
You want to support him.
You want to support him.
You want everybody to know he's a good author.
Okay. I saw, and I don't know if you witnessed this a couple weekends ago, but when these women came, as far as book clubs, like, they didn't buy for one person, they bought for the entire book club. And that's how women think. And we're supportive. We're very supportive by nature. And so that's what we do. And I think men, you say they do it because they want to, but I think men do play on it.
Well, I saw a New York Times best-selling author 2 weeks ago in Atlanta work his magic.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he
But
did.
there's a flip side to that though too. Like, because once you meet a person, like you play that game, you play the game and you can have them selling books and everything, right? But that has expiration date.
Yeah. You're right.
It has expiration date. And furthermore, once the flip side to that is, once she realized that you just used her as a pawn, she no longer supports your career and she condemns your career.
That's true. Because
So now you see-
vindictive.
so now you see-
because we get vindictive.
So now you see a lot of writers, who have, with that route. And now, and I told somebody before, I said, listen, man, the last thing you want to do is put yourself in an arena like that, because what's going to happen is, once you fall out with her, and once you ain't doing what she wants you to do no more, right? What's going to happen is she's going to get on the sites and say that your books are trash, she's going to give you bad reviews, right? And now, what's going to happen from that point on, like, somebody read the review, they're not going to say, yo, that's because he used to knock her off, and now he'll knock her off no more. They're just going to read that review as a bad review.
And
The
that
book
you
sucks.
can't write. Even though she might have been praising you 6 months ago, all they know is today.
It's all short-lived, so you can get that off for a little while. You can have girls selling books to you in every state for a little while until it come crashing down. And then after that, your career's stuck right there.
With social media, make it break it.
Social media, the gift and the curse.
And the purpose.
It's It's a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad.
When I think of sexism, I think of opportunities lost on a big scale. You know, I think of, you know, the boardrooms where they're saying, how many black authors are we going to, you know, let in? You know, that's
It's
what I
this
think.
small.
That's what I think of sexism. You know, not practicing human rights.
Right.
Yeah.
We still got
So
4
who's
more
the-
months
right.
over here.
Right. Who's the next big
And
breakout
I
author?
noticed also that they tell you what, just like you said, what they want you to write.
Right.
And one of the requirements for one of the publishing companies was we have to have a happy ending. Well, I don't know about you, but a lot of black people's stories
Don't
end
have happy endings.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
There's nothing happy
Right.
about it.
You're absolutely right.
So am I supposed to fake it?
Right.
I don't have happy endings.
That's right. I have struggled.
Yeah.
I have
And it's real.
regular people problems.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dwight wants to say something. Tell everybody who you are.
How you doing? I'm author Dwight Allen. The name of my book is called From Hood to Good. It's sold worldwide, and yes, it is here at this store. And thank you, authors, everybody on the panel, and these beautiful ladies for coming here today. I just wanted to say one quick thing. Me as a freshman author, I've been reaching out to libraries. I've been reaching out to libraries around the world, and the library in New York City, just to share with y'all, I'm not sure if y'all reached out to them yet, in LA, you really have to be like a best-selling author for them really to select you. So exactly what you were saying, me as a freshman author, I'm seeing that, but your book can be at big schools. You just have to call around and ask around. Right now, I have 3 copies at Ohio State University's bookstore, 3 copies at Yale bookstore. You know, so I'm looking to go for black colleges. Black colleges, they deal with Follett. Some deal with Barnes & Noble. Mostly at white big schools, they deal with Barnes & Noble. So please reach out to them as authors, and you can eat more. I'm going to share this with y'all, so y'all can eat. Share this with the family. Everybody that's authors.
It doesn't hurt that Dwight is a teacher.
Yeah.
You know, so him being a teacher, it helps get him indoors also.
But he is telling the truth. My nephew was going to Lincoln University, and I just gave him a book. They passed that book around Lincoln, and now they call it the Black Twilight.
Lincoln got it going on.
Yeah.
It's back in the woods, but
Yeah.
it's a good school. They
So,
support
you know,
black
just
authors.
I mean, I know how, like, as much racism is out there, right? It's not, I don't know, what I want to say is, it's not always about the color. We get so caught up in the personal aspect of the color all the time. Like, it's what makes businesses. And the war is about dollar bill.
Right.
And so when they said that he should write, you know, the male authors don't really make it, is because most male authors want to write male stories. I'm a prime example. They want to write male-driven stories. Women don't want to read male-driven stories. So it's not really about sexism. It's not really about, it's just what makes business sense. It makes better business sense to have a female book because it's female readership and they can relate to the characters, as opposed to a block party where it's all men, no love, no romance, just shoot 'em up, bang, bang. So I get why prison is where I made the most of my money.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's no, like, from day one when I started writing, and they told me the same thing from the beginning. Listen, you know, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it writing male-driven stories. Like you said, I had a point to prove. I'm going to make it writing male-based stories. But I understand when my book is on the shelf with all other authors, I don't take offense when the female said, I can't really get with that block party. I understand, because I really didn't write block party for her. I appreciate her as a reader. But my demographic, when I shot in the air, boom, I knew where it was going. It was going to the prisons, and it was going to the dudes. I wrote the dudes who relate to where I'm from. I really didn't write for women. So that's the flip side to that. So now when I have a woman that loves the story, then I'm appreciative. But I know from packaging, from titles to the storyline, I know the demographic that I aim at. So it's not really about the racism, it's black and it's white. It's really not that. It's what makes sense. What makes dollars for it.
And I was gonna say he did his research.
Yeah.
You see, he knew his target audience before he put the first book out there.
From a business
And
standpoint.
then they try to find the audience.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
And so I'm saying, you know, everybody gonna read my book and read. No, they're not.
Everybody's not.
Everybody's not gonna read the book. You have to know when you sit down, because the whole thing about business structure is when you sit down, you should understand that the cover is gonna gravitate this type of reader.
Yeah.
You understand? So your packaging has to go. You just can't be shooting in the air and hoping that it hit your target.
You gotta go with the content.
Yeah, you gotta know where you're going. When I'm shooting, I know where I'm going. I'm going right to the penitentiaries all across the world. Bang, I got it.
Right.
I know what it takes.
Most of the reading that, you know, most men.
Yeah.
Most
So-
men do their reading in the
It's no mystery why it's no mystery to me why I'm a bestseller inside the institutions all over the country.
Right.
It's no mystery because I know that every dollar that I spent, I'm marketing to them. Every title that I came up with, all my marketing, all my packaging was going to a particular audience. So I don't take offense when a woman say I like such and such over Saadiq. You know what I mean? I understand why.
It's okay.
I understand why. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, but I really wasn't right for you. You get it.
I didn't mean to infer that it was a situation of black and white. I hope you don't take that away from me. I just wanted to make a point that there is sexism in the industry, but it's even more prevalent when it's us against the traditional publishing company. You went right for your target. Me, I didn't do the research. I started writing. I started writing.
Right.
And then after I wrote, I said, okay, now how am I going to get somebody to read this? Okay, that's how I did it. I had no clue that I'd be sitting here today. I had no clue that I would be on the shelf of a bookstore. All I knew was that I was a damn good writer, and I wanted somebody to know it. So, in my journey, I thought I was going to be in Kensington. I thought they were going to pick me right on up. And then I realized that everybody thinks that.
Yes. Everybody has
Everybody thinks that.
Everybody does.
You have to identify the audience. You have to identify your audience.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. And so it's your audience. You said
Identify.
you had dreams of being with Kensington. Is the people who read Kensington books, is that your audience?
Well, actually, one of my favorite authors is L.A. Banks. She's deceased.
Yes.
I write like L.A., but with a little edge to it. She's with Kensington. I used to come to this bookstore at lunchtime, and I'd look for books that were kind of similar to what I wrote. Look them over. Who published that? Okay, I'm going to get on their website and see if they'll take me.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's how I did it. I did it backwards. I wrote first, and then I wondered where it was going to fit in.
It's not really backwards. So it's not really backwards. It's just a matter of once you have the product now, like a lot of people think it stops at writing. It doesn't stop at writing. Now it's time to play ball now. So now you gotta sit down and you gotta say, where do I want this to go? Where do I want it to go? What hands do I want to fall into? You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to. A lot of people don't like we shoot so wide range. Like you have to know exactly what you're going for, because if you don't know what you're going for, then you won't have any idea how to market, how to promote it. You know what I'm saying? You'll end up with a book like Block Party with bullet holes all over it and try to put it in Ebony magazine. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I know I'm not Ebony. I'm not Essence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you don't even waste your
I
time.
don't waste my time. I spend money other places where my readers are. My readers are Straight Stunt magazine. My readers are Don Diva Fans magazine. Like I know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm writing about, if you like the YA, you're gonna like this. If you like the corner, you're gonna like this.
That's right.
But if you like stuff on Lifetime, then most likely you
Don't
go.
even skip over me.
Go bypass,
Yeah, I mean, don't even look at me. And I tell them what you like. You're not gonna like it.
And you're honest, yeah.
Right.
Kisha, I tell the truth. Like, you know, I sit here and I study this thing. Like, I study this thing like I got 14 years, and I sit down and I study every day.
Right.
Every day. Like, and I told her earlier, in order to compete with the majors, you have to emulate the majors.
There you go.
You gotta emulate them. You know what I'm saying? You can't like I don't get mad if they saying, yo, listen, I need no, I'm not writing a female driven story unless I want to. Right? But when I write a female story, guess what? I know I can take different outlets now. I can put it in different channels now. It just opens my arena up now. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of people, like, you know, if you love to write, then you need to check in, and if it's just writing that you want to do, check in and get your publisher. But if you want to take on the big scheme of these things, and you really want to get on a competitive level, then you gotta, you know, so you gotta get from behind that computer and you gotta start competing.
That's exactly what Dwight told me this past week. That's exactly what he told me. And I said, I just want to write. I just want to write. I just want to write. I just keep on writing. He said, you might have to stop writing a minute and do the work. And that's the
And you
truth.
have to put yourself out there for readers, because that's one thing that readers relate to, and that is, you know, I've been doing this for 35 years. Y'all didn't hear that, but but to interact with an author and for you to interact with me makes me want to support you more. Because you understand what I'm saying? And that's why when I saw Al-Saadiq, I was like, I've been trying to meet you for years, like, because you know what I mean. We talked on the radio on Kisha's show, but you know, it's something about putting a face to face, being able to hold a conversation, and knowing that he supports me as a reader. That goes everywhere. So that's why he tried to tell you, you have to come from behind the computer and go out and meet your readers.
And that's the start of it. Like today we know what's name. Today is no more that getting out with the readers, right? Well, how I built a base is, you know, early on out there talking to readers, and being, you know, now we're in a place now where everything is on the computer, and you can't build a solid audience like that. I mean, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that read my books, like 9 times out of 10, they met me somewhere from the beginning, and they like me. They like me first.
You sold
So
yourself,
now, guess what?
and whatever product you're selling,
So
they're gonna buy it.
now I drop one that they don't like, they give me a break because they like me. I didn't come off like an asshole.
That's right.
You understand? You know what?
That's the truth. For anyone who is listening, please repeat what you
I
just
mean,
said.
when you excuse my language, but when you a-hole, right? The first time you drop a dud, you done.
Yep.
But if you always deal with your readers with humility, you understand, and not act like they owe you something,
Right.
then you can drop a dud or two,
That's right.
And they'll still
and they still support you because they support you.
You have to engage them. I tell clients all the time, the reader, they're your friend, they're your supporters, but you can't get mad if they didn't like the book.
No, not at all.
Because you're gonna go crazy. Like, what can I do? What can I do?
Right.
Because Diane may not have liked it.
That's
right. Somebody
Diane
else
did.
did.
You know,
That's
Patrice
right.
did.
That's
So
right.
you need to engage the reader,
That's
but
right.
also too, not just the buy my book. Talk to them.
Talk to them.
Know
Why
your
didn't you
audience.
like it?
Yeah.
Right. What?
Exactly.
Where did I go wrong in your eye?
Always ask.
You don't have to be chummy. You don't have to go to the movies and get too personal.
Right.
But for example, it's okay to know my favorite author likes chocolate chip ice cream.
Right.
You know, I know he likes Snickers versus Twix.
Right.
These are the things that we can joke around with, and it just makes it okay. So when he drops that dud, I'm not going to say, well, I don't read those books no more.
Right.
Like, you can still support.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You know, I was in the store one day, but a customer came in, Al-Saadiq was there, so I called him Mr. Hard to Please. And I asked him, I said, what about Block Party? You want to read this book? No, I want to read that book. I said, why? He said, I just don't like them. I said, why? And so I said, well, there it is right there. So then he apologized and he says, it's not that I don't like you, but he was a CEO. He said your book is all over the prison system. I just get tired of saying it.
He took that personal.
Yeah, I
Wow.
guess he felt bad because he was here. He said, okay, I'll get the first one. How about he came back and bought all of them?
See?
Whoa.
See?
Yeah.
Amir?
When I checked him, I said, bro, what you doing?
We need to step outside.
I'm trying to figure out like how you don't like me. Like,
What are the odds that he was there the same day? You know,
it's like whoever your publisher is, like they must just be donating your books to the channel. It's all over.
Wow. Passing around. Right.
Right. No, really.
You know,
Because if they didn't, ain't enough prisoners in the prison that can keep them going. I'm telling you, women are reading your books too.
It takes a different kind of woman to
Appreciate.
this.
Yes.
It takes a different kind of woman.
It's a reader.
I mean, just the subject matter sometimes. The subject matter is a little different. I mean, see, one thing, we got this vast urban fiction, right? There's 100 different lanes in there. You got so many different levels of urban fiction. You have the urban the love stories. You have the shoot 'em up, bang bang murder. You know, you got the fantasy island stuff. Then there's so many different lanes,
Right.
and each one has a different Like, I can pretty much tell by the author that you follow if you're like Mama.
Exactly. You know what? And he hit the nail on the head, because that's what I say. If someone comes in this store and they say, I'm looking for a good book, I say, who was the last person you read?
Who you
Tell
like?
me the last book that you read.
That you
Because
like.
I can recommend from there. You know, so what you said is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I want to say, Amir, I've known Amir, I met Amir in the store. And so I want to say, when I first met him, he was kind of quiet. Y'all see he's kind of quiet. He's still quiet, but I have to applaud Amir because he has started to get out there. I even said it to you, right? I was like, 2016, like, Amir is out here. He came on the show, and he was talking, and I was like, wait a minute, what happened to my buddy? You know what I mean? And tell him what you said when I said that to you.
Yeah, I said I'm going to change, and I need to get out there and break my comfort zone of being laid back into myself and actually meet the readers and engage. Like, I'm in the streets.
Yes.
I'm in the streets. I don't post a lot on Facebook. I'm still trying to get into all that.
I remember
But
you used to say that, like, I'm not
But
just still getting the hang of this social
I'm
media.
in the streets. I'm trying to be everywhere. Every adventure,
Visible.
book convention.
Yes.
I'm trying to be everywhere. You know, I keep books with me now. As you know, at first it was just, okay, I did it. You know, it was something that I did. And, you know, I achieved something that I said I was going to do when I came home from jail. You know, that everybody said, yo, you need to do this. So I did it, and then I wasn't really pushing it. Then I said, you know, I need to make this the #1 focus. So that's when I said, you know, I want to get out there and like I write for the people behind bars. This is where I came from my writing. This is who supported me, you know. So I write for a certain genre. I mean, a certain group of, you know, if you love this is what you're gonna love. You come from where I come from, you're gonna love this. This is what I can write. And I'm going to go to writing romance and all these other different things, but like how you know, brother said, I'm gonna do it on my time.
Yes.
That's right.
I'm gonna do it on my time when I'm ready and when I have already planned on releasing that book. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just out there. I'm in the mix.
And when you put yourself in a situation like that, like, I understand that it's a plateau that I you know, like, as far as the people, they're not gonna bring me so far. But I understand that. Because when I sat down to write these books and go against the engine, I knew what come with that. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going against the engine. I write all male books. I'm not going with the majors. Everything they told me not to do, I've done it.
Wow.
So I understand when you put this person as a poster boy as opposed to me. I don't get mad because I understand, like, if I want that poster boy spot, then I would do what they want me to do. But I ain't doing that. I'm radical. I'm radical by nature. Like, I'm just radical. I'm going against the engine all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, I had an author tell me a couple of weeks ago that, you know, tell me about a distribution deal that he got. And he said in order to, you know, get his books in like a Walmart or, you know, these type of stores, they said he had to give up something every couple of months. And so I know what you're saying is true. And I know for some people, they want you to give up your title. Now, your title may be personal to you. It means something. They want you to give up your cover. Look at how many times we've seen a book, you know, and then you're like, is this the same book? Because they changed the cover to suit the masses. So yes, you know, you're giving up a piece of yourself. And I don't know, I don't think it's worth it, but for somebody it may be, because
Fame or fortune, what you want? I mean, that's what
fame or fortune.
What you want? You know what I mean? I've never been into the fame. Like, I care less about the fame. Everybody, you know, I'm about adding zeros to the bank account. So at the end of the day, like, I don't need to be with a major to have that expansive. I don't need that.
Right.
Like, that's not success to me.
Right.
Success to me is doing it my way.
Being
That's
true
right.
yourself.
Yeah.
No, that was my question I had for you. I commend all three of y'all because you're independent. I know by going to these big companies, you get more exposure. But what I don't like is I think it's $70, you get 70 cents, and you get 30 cents for your hard-earned work. I wanted to know why each one of you decided to go independent as opposed to going mainstream. I guess that was the direction.
I mean, it was never. I never even entertained that though, ever. Never from day one did I entertain signing with a major. It never made sense to me to take pennies on, take pennies against the dollar. It never made sense to me to do that. And I don't see the benefit in it. Like everything that I've seen in the years that I've been here, I've seen the majors destroy black careers before they built black careers. Stephen King deal gets greater every year. When black writers in our genre, right, their deals decrease every year. So if I've been with a company, Al-Saadiq Banks, I've been with this whatever company for 15 years. You would think that my deal, would have gotten larger. You know what I'm saying? But instead, it's like they destroy your career. You got 3 months ahead of time that you start promoting the book, right? 3 months of actually selling the book, and then the sales trickle down for the last few months, and then they slide you to the side, and they bring the next author in. So you can never build a career unless you're Stephen King or one of those guys. A major will never build your career.
And a lot of authors go wanting to sign with those majors, not knowing that. Yeah. All they see is Walmart, Target, I'm a celebrity, I'm going to be famous, and I'm going to go all over for book signings. And
I've seen them burn them. I mean, it's like if you sign a deal and they say you can't sign it, you can't write another book under this name for X, Y, Z. So now, for those 3 months that they promote you, the 3 months that you out, the other 3 months that your sales are trickling down, they start off with big print. First and foremost, don't ever think that the majors print a million books of urban fiction. So you'll never sell a million books. If you can't sell a million books within that 6-month period, you're not going to sell a million books. So we are out the gate. We already lost. You understand? So now they got you under the contract, but you can't write again for X amount of time. So by the time they finish giving you those little royalties every couple of months, right? It's time for you to have another book just so you can feed your family again. So unless you get a $12 million deal, I don't see the benefit. I don't see the benefit of signing with those guys. Like signing with them for what? To always be a book in the hole. Every time me and my family starve, I gotta hand you a book. So you can cut me another check. That's what it would boil down to. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care who see the video and don't like it. The reality is the reality. One thing that'll never change is the truth. And that's just how it goes. Like I see them destroy careers more than I see them build careers.
I think it's similar to, and I think we had this conversation before, similar to Prince when he put slave on his with his contract with Warner Brothers, Sony. And so, it's all about, him wanting to be this, creative, to have that creative freedom, but not being able to because he signed to these contracts. The LL Cool J's, like, he had to put out 10 albums before he could go and do X, Y, Z. So they control you, meanwhile making you think, okay, like you said, feeding your family. Okay, I don't have any food in my refrigerator, or my book is at Walmart.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? Nothing. My kids don't care, but I can tell you, you'll care because you're like, ooh, Kisha Green, look at Walmart. And that's as far as it goes. So it's like the author has to really do the research, not only on the publisher, but what the history is of that signing to that publisher. Because like you said, that 30 days before, 30 days after, then what? Your book is shelved. And nobody's talking about it anymore. They're on to the next one like an assembly line. So what do you really want?
Not so much shelved. They take it and send it back to the later. Anyway, you got 60, 90 days?
Let me tell you what somebody told me years ago. I don't know if this is accurate numbers, but this was maybe 10 years ago. A girl told me that the first print that a major does for urban fiction is 20,000 books, right? The next print may come down to 10,000 books. By the third print, they had 2,500 books. So so where are you ever going to be able to sell 1 million books if they only started out with 20,000 books?
They up that many for it. So how dare, and it's funny because that you say that, because let's say that number is 2,500. So how dare do the authors sign with the majors laugh at the independent author who's doing it? Yeah. And I'm not, in the independent author, I don't got to share it with nobody. Yeah. You're waiting to get paid. I'm not. There's a difference for it. So you have to, I would rather look at it from an independent aspect where 2,500 books sold, I'm gonna run with that. Those are my bragging rights. It's mine. I did the work. I made those books go into those stores. I did what I had to do. not waiting for the publisher to say, okay, Kisha, we're only going to print up 2,500 that year. That's it. That's where I'm capped off at. Whereas me, independent, well, I might have did 2,500 in my first quarter. I might have it still in my, my money, my funds to do another 2,500.
If you can go to a bookstore right now and find 5 books that came out in 2002 from a major, from this genre. So now those people that wrote in 2002, where is it? Where in Korea? I mean, we got a few of them still around, but they still producing new material. But what about the person in 2002 compared to a block party? I'm able to sell block party from 2002, 2003, all the way to 16 because I keep it fresh. I keep it out there. The major's not going to keep it out there for me.
Right. That's where the independent bookstore comes in because Barnes & Noble is only going to have it right then and there when it came out. Now, after it's gone and it's a dud, now we come around to the source of knowledge is to find, well, do you have such and such book? Oh, yeah, I got that book. Oh, my goodness, I've been looking for it because I didn't want to order it on Amazon, whatever. And that's how it happens. So it keeps the indie bookstore in business. But look at the author, though. She went from Barnes & Noble to the indie bookstore. But she signed with a major. She was signed with a major. Because I don't know anyone who is signed with a major who's totally happy, who this is their sole job. There's no side hustles going on. I don't know any that are with just being an author. Nothing else. And if it was that much money in it, they wouldn't have to do multiple things. It's no different than me wearing multiple titles in the industry because it's more than books. If I was depending on it just on the book part of it, my kids would starve. I'd starve. So it's you have to really think about what your goal is.
What is success? What's your idea of success?
Exactly.
They say to me all the time, they say, yo, you know Walmart? Nah, my demographic don't go to Walmart.
Right.
My demographic doesn't go to Walmart looking for books. So at the end of the day, I told everybody, yo, I'm trying to get in Walmart. I said, yo, instead of concentrating on getting in Walmart, once you create the demand, so when you get in Walmart, you'll fly off the shelf and you just won't get sent back.
That's right.
So you worry about the wrong thing. You worry about just getting on the shelf.
Right. Yeah. And that's true. I had a former client was like, when their book is on that Walmart shelf, get everybody to go there to get it. Because if you get it, there's a demand, and then they'll order more. The books come in on Tuesdays. So go over there and make sure you tell everybody to buy it. It's like, dang. So it's like you have to do some type of, I don't want to call it a scam, but you got to get people to go over there to buy it. But what about buying it when you want to buy it? Not because, oh, damn, if I don't go buy your book, it's not going to be on the shelf next month. I'm going to go down the aisle and I'm not going to see it.
They say, so nobody don't tell you, everybody talk about the Walmart, but nobody don't tell you about the skis and books that come back to return from Walmart.
And Barnes & Noble.
I was about to say, I just learned about Barnes & Noble. Patrice told me about that.
And the returns is the reason that the #1 black distributor is not in business anymore because he would pay us long before the books come back, and then 6 months later, a whole 10,000 block parties coming back, and he already cut me a check. Not me per se, but he already cut the check. But now he's forced to try to sell them on the street, give them to the African vendors over in Holland. And so that was his demise right there. Like those returns will knock you out of business. So everybody's focused on sitting in it.
This is so interesting to me. This is incredibly interesting to me. As I say, I'm a neophyte, and I don't know about you, but are you learning from this experience? I know you haven't been through this yet, to know the ins and the outs of the business like this. It's incredible. Yeah. I didn't pursue a traditional publishing company because I want autonomy. I want to say what I want to say. I want to write what I want to write. I want to write my truth. And my truth may not be consistent to what they want their readers to have. And when you get involved with one of the top 5 or 6 publishing companies, if you're blessed to do that, okay, you may get a big sign-on, but basically you shoot yourself in foot. You're set up to fail. I, as an indie writer, can write anything I want. Whether you like it or not, it's my truth.
You put it out when you want. That's another
Exactly.
thing. You know, I had an author tell me, and I'm still baffled. She told me that her publisher was forcing her to put out books every 30 days.
I think you said
30.
30. 30 days. Wow.
What do they do, those little
30
100-page?
days. She was putting out a full novel.
Every 30 days.
So I said to her, I said, you do realize that the publisher was basically allowing you to commit suicide. And she said, you know, she was stressed and, you know, she was going to take, because how it started, she said, I'm taking a break. And I said, well, what happened? And then she explained this to me. I work for 30 days. I go, so when you're on book 3, do the masses even know about book 1? Because when did you have time to promote book
You're
1?
sitting there working on the next
You're
one.
working on the next one because this man is telling you that you have to knock out a book every 30 days.
Then where's the quality?
Where's
What's
the quality?
in the book?
There's no
Right.
quality.
We just talked about that with Al-Saadiq, where he's like, this is 9 months in the making.
Yes.
30 days? Wow.
30 days. You know, and it's sad. But this is what they're doing. So I see the benefits of self-publishing. You know, people always ask you, well, you know, they ask you the financials and listen, I haven't done it. I can send you to someone who has done it, but there are benefits to it. You know, I see that.
Benefits and disadvantages on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, so you just got to choose your poison.
Right.
You gotta choose your poison. Like, you know what I mean? What do you rather have? Like, I mean, it's one comes with this, other will come with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? With independence, like, it's not just books. Like, you got to think about every business that's out there. If you're a comedian, either you're gonna be Kevin Hart or you're gonna be, you know, somebody not as
Right.
prevalent as Kevin Hart.
Right.
Or, you know, with sports, everything is, you know, you have the independent side and you have the mainstream side in every business. There's politics that stands in between all of that.
Right.
So you have to understand the politics of whatever game it is that you're playing.
Playing.
Because Kevin Hart knows the politics in being a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Athletes know the politics in their business. They know they can't say certain things. They can't wear certain T-shirts. Like, you understand the rules. So it's no different with us. Like, we have to understand the politics in this business and understand what you can't say if you expect them. Like guys from before, like, you know, you kind of abrasive on social media. You know what I'm saying? The majors will never look at you because you're very abrasive. I said, I'm rap. And I know stuff I say, the major's not never gonna look at me, but guess what? I ain't looking at them either.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it don't matter to me. So I'm gonna say what I'm unfiltered all the time. So I'm not expecting now. If I wanted to check for the majors, then I understand I got to tone it down a little bit.
Right.
You would be being yourself, you know what I mean?
If
you want to
all
know.
three of y'all write differently, and I love all three of writing. You know, you go your direction in there. I said, give you your notes for the subject. My favorite, and Carolyn, I love her. But it's three totally different books, and I like it.
Yeah, and it's like for your coming from the reader standpoint, you can appreciate the creativity that they are giving to you as opposed to reading 3 books that all sound the same, though things different is the title. And I think that goes with that machine, that 30-day machine. Get it out. I need to be a bestseller. I gotta fulfill this. And it's like when you're doing that, you're losing the passion. The creativity has to go with it because when do you have time to have strong character development, plot execution? Where is that? You know, the characters. Where
You must figure out where I'm going in the next chapter.
I don't see how an author can really sit down and write a book in 30 days. I mean, honestly, baby.
30 days of
That's a
stuff.
turn.
Like, I just got roadblock on this situation. This nigga, like, you know, real. I'm like, okay, well, hold on. Let me pause for a minute.
Right.
Get back to this, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't see it. Like, it took me 6 months to write this, and I wrote every day in jail. It took me 6 months. I mean, so, and on top of that, I went back and rewrote it, like I told you,
Right.
3-4 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
passion.
So it's like, I don't see how you can put a book out.
That's real life.
That's a turntable. It's not a book.
How are you doing it in 30 days? focusing on, like you said, 6 months, but you have life going on
Yes.
outside. Like, so you're a hermit. So you're not on social media. You don't go out anywhere. You don't talk to anyone. You're just in a bubble. But
Part 2 is taking me forever to write because of that everyday life of trying to run this company, trying to sell this book, trying to make food in the house, pay my rent, do all that. At the same time, I still got to find time to write. You can write a book in 30 days and still juggle all that. Because I've met an author at a convention before, and she said she juggle a book in like every 30 days. And she talking about she's been on the bestseller list. So I'm like, well, how did you do that? Because I can't, and you got kids you got to feed, and kids you got to take care of. I got stepkids that I can't even finagle when they over the crib. I can't write because they're right there. Like, how do you?
It's a
I
lot.
don't understand it.
It's a lot. When I'm doing the radio show on Monday night, my life is still going on to the point where my daughter, she'll come in the room and I'm like, because I'm like, alone, I'm doing this. Like, so to think that I can't, be able to do that, to interact with the family, and I'm focused on this and not having time because something's going to suffer. And I don't want it to be my family. So the book will suffer. So I would be the author of, wow, Dad, it took you that long for that to come out? Yeah, because being a mother was more important. Being the head of the household, being responsible, doing all of that was more important. Because if you support me, like we talked about, the person liking you, the readers liking you, you'll be there when I drop the book.
You be anxious for the book to come out. Yeah.
But don't get also too. Don't get too. Don't fall into that trap of, oh yeah, they'll be waiting for me when I come back out. Because when you come back out, yeah, they're happy that you did come out because a lot of authors disappear, but are they going to buy it? Likes on Facebook and social media do not equal book sales. And I think that's where a lot of self-published authors have it misconstrued. That it does. And it doesn't.
I like to let people know on social media that I'm still writing, and this is what I wrote last night. Okay? So I'll post up segments of what I'm doing. Yeah, so that they know this is what's coming, okay? So that they don't forget me. You have to constantly remind them that you're still working towards the next project's completion.
And piggybacking on what she said, we get too complacent because unfortunately, everybody wants to be an author. Everybody.
But everybody can't write.
They throw up a file and they say, I'm an author. And so you don't want to get too complacent. If you have established your readers, then Heartless. Like, we are like, okay, Heartless, like, we need Heartless, you know what I mean? It's been a minute. So we're looking, yes. And so we're looking forward to Heartless, you know what I mean? Because he has that, he's locked in on the audience, you know what I mean? Don't kill me. But you know what, A Hustle by Nature Part 2. As soon as I walked in, I said to him, do you have something for me? Because I know it's coming. He's locked in on that audience. So Carolyn, what you're doing is definitely on point, and when you get to, you start doing that, you're going to see that they're going to be waiting for part 2.
I already got it. I'm sitting on 10 books. I'm blessed.